Hey all, Cypher and welcome back to another new video for Element Fission. For those unaware, this is kind of like very closely related to Summoner's War. It's an anime stylized turn-based RPG, and if you've not checked out my first impressions for the game, make sure to do so. It's literally the previous video. Anyways, so today we are going to be taking a brief look at all of the water nat 5s in the game, right? So apparently there are 3 rarities of heroes in this game, actually 2 if you count the wisps, but they're just fodder material, right? So we're not going to count them. There's the 3 stars, which are basically essentially when you obtain them, they're going to be at 3 stars. Then they are the 4 stars, like Mrs. Stringmaid over here, and then there's the 5 stars, right? These are the more premium units in the game. They are available at a very low probability of only 0.5%. So again, getting any one of them is going to be huge for your account, but we're going to take a brief look at what each of them does and brings to the table, because of course, even though they are 5 stars, like they're of the same rarity, some are going to be better than others, right? Like that's just how every game is designed. And if not, like what would be the fun? Like if every hero is OP, it's gonna be pointless, right? Anyways, so starting with the first Water Knight 5, which is gonna be the Water Twin Blade. I already have him, and I'm gonna say he's a pretty decent single target DPS, right? So what he does, his main ability, his passive, which is Synergy, at the beginning of the battle, select the fastest ally and raise your speed to this ally. Additionally, when this ally performs an attack during their turn, you will attack together, right? So essentially a fixed dual attack. He's really good with, like speedy cleave teams. The main thing is he does not need to be built with any speed because his passive automatically allows him to be, equal to the highest speed member of a team. So for example, if you're learning like, a very fast dungeon team, this guy is already gonna be, fast because that's just how his passive works, right? Additionally, the dual attacks are really good, especially if they pair, well with his first ability, which is Quick Slash. So attacks an enemy, then casts his second ability, Double Slash, if the target gets killed by this attack. Again, the damage multipliers on his abilities are not like extremely overwhelming. They're decent, and the best thing is he's super easy to build, right? I think he's very new player friendly because when you take him to 6 stars, he's gonna get extra 15% crit rate, right? And if you min max your like your fatal runes, which give you extra 15% crit rate for 2 sets, you can easily take him up to 100% crit rate, and that's like at least the benchmark for any DPS hero, right? Apart from that, his abilities are pretty decent. His double slash ability, the first attack removes 1 buff and second attack increases cooldowns by 2 turns. It's on a very high cooldown, I would say, in the base form, even after maxing out, because I'm showing you guys the skills at max version, right? Because I'm thinking you guys will probably max their skills over time, not initially, but probably gradually. His leader skill is also pretty great. All teammates get plus 33% critical rate during arena battle. For a new player, I think this is pretty decent. Like for, I would say mid-game, right, in-game players, speed is probably going to dominate the game, like we see in other, similar games like Summoner's War. So yeah, this ability is not going to be as helpful there. But overall, I think he's a solid initial, like early good DPS hero, and I would say I'm probably lucky to have him, at the beginning, because he's really helping me through clearing so many lost tunnel stages, which is like the Tower of Ascension. And he's also really good campaign farmer for like the Fire Insane story stage, right? Like overall, he's pretty decent. Coming up next is the Water Man-at-Arms. Now this guy is super good. Like, I would love if I could ever pull him, because look at his skills. Attacks all enemies, depletes their action bar, inflict 1 turn freeze debuff, damage based on your max HP, right? His second ability, Intervene, grants a target ally a 2-turn escort and yourself a 2-turn healing over turn, gains an extra turn after using this ability. So what you can do is just simply, go out, start his turn, give the escort buff to, probably your squishy target, and then just go ahead and do this massive AoE, inflict the freeze, deplete the action bar. Now it does not say by how much percentage it's gonna decrease the action bar, which I hate, honestly. It's the same with most of the other hero skills. Like, they don't mention exactly how much amount of action bar it's gonna deplete. Hopefully, in the future updates they'll fix it. But for now, it's this. His first ability is also pretty good. Attacks an enemy, inflicts 1 turn freeze. Damage increases as target's HP gets worse. Now, I have seen these, man-at-arms literally executing people below 30% HP. Like, this skill can deal decent damage, right? I'm telling you guys. Overall, his kit is super friendly. Like, he is going to be a great debuffer for a team. He's also a pretty solid tank because his leader ability gives 33% defense to all teammates. It's not, limited to a specific attribute like water only. It's flat out all, right? Plus his ability skill with max HP, again, super good. Only his third ability does. My bad. Also, is this guy actually riding a donkey? Dude, these character models are insane. He's supposed to be a gladiator, right? He's riding a mecha donkey or something, which is insane. Uh, Anyways, yeah, he's pretty good. Coming to the next one, it's gonna be Water Iron Fist. Now, I already have this hero, and she's literally a one-on-one port of the water Camilla, right? Sorry, her evolved name is Camilla, from Summoner's War. I think you guys must have heard of her, right? She's the water Valkyrie, I believe. That's what her base form is. But yeah, she is literally a copy of Camilla. Her passive is Hands of Purity. Recover 10% HP of you and another ally with the lowest HP at the start of your turn. Decrease the damage by 50% and remove all debuffs if you receive a critical hit. Again, she's a solid anti-crit tank. She can like tank DPS for days, especially against a very high like crit rate DPS champions, which are in arena you're probably at the higher echelons. You'll probably face more enemies who have higher crit rate, right? So I think she's gonna be really helpful with that. Her second skill is pretty simple: attacks an enemy, 100% chance to inflict 2 turn defense down and 1 turn damage based on your defense. Now, one thing to note is her skills do scale with defense, so building some HP and a mix of defense is going to be really solid, especially if you're planning to build her more bruiserish. Because me personally, I think I'll build my Camilla on the more bruiser side, like not pure tank. Her leader ability is also pretty decent if you're building a water only team. 42% HP is no joke. It's literally like half of your entire HP. Plus, at 6 stars, you can get additional 15% crit rate. Again, bolstering her spot as a bruiser. Overall, I think she's pretty decent, but really nothing, nothing to be super excited about, right? She's a solid water tank. Coming to Dr. Evil, the Water Dr. Evil, he's also super good. Look at his third skill. Grants on all allies 3 turns of immunity and 3 turns of reflect. Look at what Reflect does. Reduce and return 20% of the incoming damage to attacker. Again, this guy is super good because I've never seen anything like this on Summoners War, at least, right? And I think I still yet to be tested how good this Reflect buff really is. But, just seeing 20% of the incoming damage to attacker, plus he reduces some of the damage. So I don't know if the reduction is also going to affect the damage, the damage which the opponent will take, the reflect damage, but I think it does, right? So I think the damage which will be reflected to the attacker is going to amount for the reduced damage, right? It's not going to be pure damage, which they initially did to you, right? Anyways, his second skill grants all allies 2 turn speed up and all enemies 2 turn speed down. Really super good controller. This guy is going to be super good for like Lost Tunnel, all PvE stuff, right? He's also going to be great for PvP just because of this immunity and reflect. But the thing is, these debuffs can get stripped, and there are a lot of strippers in this game. A lot of strippers. And by strippers, I mean, not literal strippers, but strippers are basically heroes which can like strip debuffs, right? His first skill attacks an enemy, so single target, attacks 2 times. Each attack has a 50% chance to apply 2 turn blind, and the damage is based on his speed. And which is a good thing because this guy gets plus 15 speed at 6 star. He's one of the fastest characters in the game, bar none. His leader ability, water teammates get plus 33% critical rate. I think this is where this hero could have been like super good, but now he's like average. If this guy had like a speed lead, something, I think this guy would be a PvP monster in my opinion, honestly. But just because of his leader ability, I think he's I don't know, it's going to be pretty situational, right? I think this is a very situational pick, but overall I think it's still going to be pretty solid in like PvE stuff, right? Like the Lost Tunnel, story campaign stage, whatever you want to call it. Super good. right? Coming on the next one, it's going to be the Electromancer, the Water Electromancer. Again, this guy is super good, like, he's super good. Look at his ability. Removes all debuffs on all allies, or converts certain debuffs into corresponding buffs. Again, it's not tested yet. I have not personally tested, and I've not seen videos of this guy yet, so I don't know what type of, conversion he does with the debuffs, but I'm assuming, like, he probably converts them into the positive effect. Like, if you have an attack down, it's gonna get converted into, like, attack up, maybe. I think that's how it should work. But again, the wordings are confusing, so, bear with me here. I've not tested these units myself personally. Again, then recover the HP by 60% and increase the action bar by 30%. And this skill is only on a 4-turn cooldown. This is insane. This is super. Like, he's literally the best support in the game, in my opinion, at the moment. Like, legit, he's one of the best. Not the best, but, like, definitely one of the best. Removes all debuffs, recovers HP by 60%, and increases the action bar by 30%. Now, I don't know why it says then recover their HP by 60%. I think it means that this guy himself, he will not increase his own action bar, and he will not recover his own health, but he's gonna give it to the allies, right? So I think that's what this wording means, right? Again, his second skill is amazing as well. Attacks all enemies, has an 80% chance to remove all buff or replaces several buffs to debuffs. See, that's what I'm talking about. This game has a ton of strippers, and this guy has this skill on a 3-turn cooldown. 80% chance to remove all buffs. So he essentially counters Dr. Evil himself, which is funny because this skill, his skill is on a 4-turn cooldown. Meanwhile, this guy can just strip all the buffs on a 3-turn cooldown. So, again, super good, right? His first skill attacks an enemy 3 times and increases your action by 10% each time the attack lands as a critical hit. Like, this guy can cycle so much. The only sad part is his base speed is super low. It's only 96%. Plus, he gets a 20% effect accuracy. So, do you know what it means? Plus 20% accuracy means this skill is probably gonna have close to 100% chance to strip buffs, right? Amazing, amazing. Overall, I think he's super good. His leader skill is all teammates get plus 33% effect resistance. Again, this is nothing special, but his skills are incredible. Like, I really want this guy. Like, if I had, a wish right now, I'd probably want this guy on my account. Like, he would probably solve so many of my problems. Like, you can use this guy for Lost Channel, for PvP, for even, I think, the Abyss Dungeon, because the Abyss Dungeon really requires a lot of support type monsters because they hit so hard, right? And man, I really wish I could ever get him. Hopefully I will. Anyways, moving on to the next one. The Water Music Queen. She's super solid as well, right? Her third ability increases the action bar of all allies by 30%, grant them 3 turns, attack up, and shield. The shield amount equals to 84 times of her level, right? So I actually did calculated it, and if you're at level 60, which is the highest level you can get, this shield is roughly gonna be 5k worth, right? Which is a huge shield. Again, it's not super massive, but it's pretty huge. And considering the fact that this skill is on a 4-turn cooldown, you can relatively get it. You can relatively get it fast every time. Every time you can, even though, again, let me say it again. This game has a lot of strippers, right? So these buffs, they're super good, but in PvP, shit can happen, right? I'm just saying. Look at her second skill though. This is amazing as well. Attacks all enemies 3 times to inflict 2-turn defense down, incurable, and blind with an 80% chance. Damage increased by 15% for each debuff on the target. She brings so much to the table. Just let's look at it. Attack up, shield, increases action bar, right? And the second skill is again an AoE, and it does 3 different debuffs: defense down, incurable, blind, and it's on a 3-turn cooldown. And just like Electromancer here, at 6 stars, she's also gonna get 20% accuracy. So this skill will again have a close to 100% chance to do all of this good stuff, right? Super, super good utility hero. Her first skill is kind of let down, but then again, like, her rest of the kit is pretty loaded. Single target, inflict 2-turn attack down with 80% chance. Her lead ability is also pretty good. All teammates get plus 33% defense. I can see her being used with like, you know, kind of a water, like kind of a tank or beat down teams, or you can say bruiser teams, just because it's the things she does. Only thing I believe she's lacking is some sort of cleanse, but you know, a monster can't have everything, right? Like, you gotta chill sometimes, right? Coming to the next one, the Water Sorcerer. I already have him, and let me say, this guy is pretty good. This guy is one of the most, I would say, one of the most sought after, I would say, PvP heroes, just because of his great opening abilities. His third skill, attacks all enemies, deplete their action bar, inflict 2 turn speed down damage based on your speed. This attack won't land as a glancing hit. Do you know what it means? It means this guy is gonna hit every attribute regardless of, you know, regardless of like any disadvantage. So if you're attacking like grass type enemy, this skill will not land as a glancing hit and will likely do everything, right? Like decrease the action bar. By the way, this action bar depletion is, I would say, 60% because I do have him on my account and of course I did test it. So it's close to 60%, I would say, right? Plus the 2 turn speed down. And the thing is, at 6 stars, he gets plus 15 speed. So his base speed comes out to overall 107, which is again one of the highest in the game, right? One of the highest. Not the highest, but it's pretty up there, right? His second skill, another AoE, inflict 1 turn silence, damage based on target's max HP. This skill is gonna do so much damage in Lost Channel. I'm already telling you guys, like, especially in the hard version, I can feel the skill is doing loads of damage. And the best part is his ability cooldowns are pretty short as well, like 4 turn, 3 turn, pretty short. And I use him all the time. I would say it's a great pick. If you guys do get him on the event, you know, make sure to check him out, right? I would probably make a guide on this guy because I do actually have him. Hopefully it's not going to take too much time, but I will make sure to, you know, do an in-depth guide on this guy. His first skill, 50% chance to inflict a 1 turn stun, pretty basic. His leader ability, all teammates get plus 25% critical rate. Again, pretty solid, right? Pretty solid. But you know, the main thing is this skill, it's super good for an opener, right? And I think that's what he will be used the most for as a PvP opener. But even in PvE, you know, you can probably just use him with the bash set, which is because he has so many AoEs, right? So he's guaranteed to land a lot of stuns. Plus his A1 also has a stun, like an inbuilt stun. So I think building him with bash set is really good for PvE. For PvP, again, speed set is king, right? Going on to the next monster, which is going to be Water Barbarian, or Mr. Barbarian. Sorry for that. He's a solid tank. Now, this guy, again, I have not tested him, but I have seen him in Lost Tunnel. He's actually one of the final bosses. And he does crazy amount of damage. Look at his passive, Rising Tide. Tidal energy surges through the body, removing all debuffs, recover HP by 100%, and increasing tidal power by 4 points. Maximum can stack up to his 8 points. Subsequently, lose 1 point of tidal power each turn based on the current tidal power. So for each stack of this tidal power, he gains 5% chance of getting an extra turn and 5% max HP per point, right? In addition, increases the damage he does by 15% of his current HP. And this is on the 4 turn cooldown. So not only removes everything on himself, right? He also recovers his HP back to essentially full because it says 100% and has a specific chance of getting some extra turn, some extra HP, and also deals additional damage based on his XP. So he's essentially what you would want in a bruiser, you know, overall. His second skill is not that good. Again, I think this thing has a potential to hit hard, but it does not say that it, you know, scales with its max HP. So I don't think it will hit as hard because it just says attacks an enemy. This attack won't land as a glancing hit and ignores all buffs on the target. I hope, you know, it would say if it, you know, scaled with his max HP, because you're obviously gonna build HP on this guy. Like, that's it. He just wants HP. His first skill, again, pretty decent. Attacks an enemy, inflict a 2 turn DOT if the attack lands as a critical hit. So see, this makes me wonder. Yeah, you should probably make him, you know, build him with full crit rates, crit damage, tons of HP, just like your standard bruiser, right? And I think this guy will probably smack around. Coming to the next one. The Water Mercenary Mother. Again, this is the first time looking at her skills, so bear with me. The Rebellion. At the start of the battle, grants all allies effect resistance equal to 20% of yours. This effect cannot stack with similar effects. When an ally gains inability effect, removes all debuffs from you and grants 1 turn of provoke, that immediately takes a turn. What? Why would you remove debuffs from you? What? Shouldn't it remove the debuffs from the ally? Or does it work differently? I don't know. This is only 3 turn cooldown though, so pretty good. Let's take a look at a second skill. Protect. Removes all debuffs on your and target ally. Okay, the wording's a bit off there. And grants 1 turn invincible each. When targeting yourself, the duration is increased by 1 turn. Oh. Oh, so essentially she can provoke, right? Then she can grant herself invincible because she takes an instant turn here, right? Immediately takes a turn, yeah. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Let's see a first skill. Attacks an enemy, removes 1 buff, and have a 50% chance to inflict 1 turn stun. Damage based on your defense. All in all, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about this champion. I don't think she's that good, honestly. Doesn't feel like she brings, too much on the table. She grants invincible. It's on herself and the target ally. But, what's the use? What else does she do? Provoke. Okay, what does provoke do? Reduce incoming damage by 15%, and hostile single target ability can only select you as a target for certain times. Interesting. But she only grants herself 1 turn of this provoke, right? So, I don't know, man. I don't know. Again, could be interesting to build this hero, but as of now, I don't know. I don't see the utility. Like, the effect resistance is decent, I guess. I don't know. Like, I don't see it. I don't vibe with this hero right now, right? So yeah, she's probably one of the least desired ones in the water element, right? Let's check out Wandering Monk. This character design, dude, I like it. I like this character design. Honestly, it's I don't know. It reminds me of like Monkey King from Summoner's War, like fused with Avatar, and then like what the fuck is this hand, bro? What? That's a hand saber. I don't know. The designs are so good. I like it, dude. Let's take a look at his abilities. He's supposed to be a nuker as well. Interesting. Self-sacrifice. Inflicts damage equal to 75% of the enemy max HP, but also take the same amount of damage. The damage inflicted will not exceed... Oh, this skill is like the water panda from Summoner's War. Molong, right? I think it's like that. I see that. Dude, this skill is pretty good. Like, it's gonna instantly take out 75% of enemies' max HP. Again, and this guy will take damage as well, but if it will not, exceed his current HP. So essentially, he's a really good, like, beat-down tank, right? You can pair him with, like, super good healers, and he can abuse the skill until the enemy team is just dead, right? It's a pretty solid skill. Meditation. Attacks all enemies 3 times, with each attack having a 35% chance to remove 1 buff, inflict 1 turn stun, damage based on his max HP. Okay, this is literally Molong. And I vibe with it. Molong is a super good hero. Like, I remember Molong was one of the initial 5 stars that I got in the game. So, I like it. Punish. That's basic. Attacks on enemy 3 times with a 70% chance to apply a 2-turn defense down on the first 2 attacks. That's a pretty high chance, not gonna lie. Plus, he gets 20% accuracy on 6 stars. So, his skills, honestly, all teammates get 42% HP during guild. It's literally Molong. Okay, this is a ported Molong for sure, like Camilla was, or the Water Iron Fist, right? This is Molong for sure. Again, super top tier hero. I think if anyone of you got it, you will never be disappointed with this guy, for sure. Let's take a look at Psycho Surgeon. Psycho Surgeon, bro, look at this design. It's so good. So he's supposed to be an attacker as well. Core type is like DPS, right? Concentration. Get concentration stacks by keeping attack by keeping attack the same target. Dude, these wordings are killing me. And lose all stacks if target changed. Increase your speed by 20 each time, stackable up to 5 times. When attacking a focused target, it will be judged as attribute advantage, and when being attacked by a focused target, it will be judged as attribute disadvantage. When the focused target attacks, you will counterattack. Oh. But, okay, so I think this guy is more of a tank beater, right? Because he needs to continuously attack the same target to gain those stacks, right? And if he's attacking a DPS target, it'll just probably kill him, and then you probably have to change the focus target again and again. So I think he's going to be really good in like super fast teams, but I will still have to, you know, probably test him out myself, or you can probably check out other content creators as well. There are a ton of them making videos. Again, I think this guy has potential. I think he has potential. Increases your speed by 20 each time. So he can get 100 extra speed for free, right? I don't know. I would say I like Water Twin Blade's passive more. Just because, you know, he doesn't have to attack the target to get that extra speed. Like, he just gets it from the get-go. Plus, he has those dual attacks. But this guy could be interesting. I don't know. He could probably really be good in, like, PvE dungeons. You know, I'm probably thinking more from a PvP standpoint. But for PvE, for sure, like, you know, you have so many boss fights. So when he's gonna attack continuously, he will easily get those 5 stacks, right? For PvE, you know, I do get it. He makes sense. His leader ability is super good. Look at that. Plus 25 speed all across the board. No extra conditions. Super great. Just like any DPS hero, he also gets 15% extra crit rate. With 6 stars, his second skill attacks an enemy 3 times. Each attack has an 80% chance to inflict 2 turn defense down. Okay, that's kind of a letdown, but I'm hoping the multipliers on the skill are probably going to be super nice, because for Water Twin Blade, he attacks 2 times and the multipliers are super good, right? And this guy is going to attack 3 times, so I think the multipliers are going to be good as well, right? For his first turn, his first skill, attacks an enemy has a 70% chance to inflict a 2-turn DOT, damage based on your speed. Okay, yeah, for sure, this guy is definitely PvE oriented. Yeah, he's for sure. I think it's gonna be super good for the fire dungeon, like the fire boss, heavy metal. Yeah, I think he's gonna be super good for this dungeon. All the runes that are dropping from this dungeon are pretty shit, but hey, I mean, there's some missions or challenges you can complete, right? Let's go move on to the next one. The Water Sphere Sage. This here is also pretty interesting. When receiving fatal damage, explode to attack all enemies, transform into co-form and gains 2-turn invincible. Co-form is immune to debuffs and action bar decreasing effect but cannot be controlled. Reverts to Sage form when HP is full. While in co-form, recover 20% HP at the start of a turn. Other allies recover 10% HP at the start of the turn. So this guy reminds me of Samath, right? The Water Fairy King from Summoner's War. I think this skill is like a mix of Samath's passive and like a Perna passive. Yeah, it's kind of like that, right? I think it's super good. I think, yeah, he's probably built only for PvP at this point, in my opinion, because look at his ability, leader ability. All teammates get plus 33 speed during arena battles. Yeah, he's definitely a PvP monster. The sad thing is his speed is not that good, but I don't think it matters because you do kind of want him to die so he can do his stuff, right? His second skill is also pretty good. Attacks all enemies, has an 80% chance to increase the cooldown by 1 turn. Automatically casts this ability when in core form with lower damage and effect rate. Again, super good. He's literally Samath, right? He's literally Samath. But the thing is, it's still kind of different because... Oh, I didn't read this one. Automatically cast this... The thing is, I've gone through this hero before. You know, I was taking a look and he did interest me a bit. But again, this skill, when I'm reading again, automatically casts this ability when in core form with lower damage and effect rate. So this means when he dies, you know, when he's in the core form, he will probably use this instead of this as his basic ability, right? Which is amazing because this ability has like almost 100% chance to increase enemy cooldown by 1 turn. I don't know. I mean, maybe you can even pair him on like a bash set because he has 2 AoEs, Plus, he's gonna do his AoE all the time when he's dead, so that could be something, you know, which you could probably make use for him in PvE content if you put him on bash set. For his first ability, Impact attacks an enemy 2 times. Each attack removes 1 buff on the target with a 50% chance. Yeah, that's pretty decent, not gonna lie. But yeah, I do see him majorly, you know, shining in PvP, but I could still see him being used in PvE with, like, you know, a bash set or something, right? Let's go on to the Water Specialist. I've never seen her abilities before, so it's gonna be new to me as well. Let's take a look at her third ability. Apply 2 turns of Hex and Block to the enemy target, then increase the action bar of all allies by 30%. This skill ignores immunity. Okay, we're definitely cooking something here with this skill. Apply 2 turns of Hex and Block. So what's Hex? Transforms into a harmless wisp, losing its original skills. Block cannot be applied with buff and blocks debuff removal effect once. Okay, this is brutal, bro. This is definitely brutal. She can lock out a single target like for eternity, right? Okay, this I can see players like, you know, devising new strategies with her for sure. Like, this is something new. The thing is, she also ignores immunity, so these debuffs are gonna land 100%. And the best part is, at 6 stars, she also gets 20% effect rate, so that's only gonna assist her, right, in landing these debuffs. Her second ability is an AoE, attacks all enemies 2 times, with a 60% chance to apply 1 turn of stun and DOT each time, on a 3-turn cooldown. Yeah, for sure, this hero is definitely good. Yeah, I can see this hero being used in PvP so many times. The sad part is her speed is a bit low, only at 97, but it's not horrible, right? It's not exactly horrible. Let's see her first skill. Launch an electromagnetic projectile to attack the enemy with an 80% chance to apply 1 turn of paralysis. Okay, what's paralysis? Reduces the effect activation rate of all active abilities by 50%. The effect activation rate. What? Is it like reduced accuracy or something? I don't get it. Effect activation rates. Okay, this is something that I need to try. Like, I don't get it. Okay, if any of you do know what this means, or probably have tested this out, do let me know in the comments. I'm currently confused what it means. Her leader skill is all teammates get 33% HP. Not that good, not that bad. Again, I think she's more of a PvP hero. I don't see her being used too many times in, like, I think she could be used. I mean, her second skill is pretty solid, but her third skill, again, it could be used in PvE just for the action bar increase, and you could probably, I mean, no, you can't probably land these debuffs on a boss, right? I think that'll just be cheating if the boss transforms into fucking Wisp or something. Like, that'd be a super easy cheat code for so many dungeons. So yeah, I think she's more of a PvP hero. Again, let's take a look at the last hero, the Water Nurse. The Water War sorry. She's a War Nurse for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how nurses dress during wars. Yeah. Let's take a look at her passive. You and another ally with highest critical damage will have their critical damage increased by 100%. This effect won't stack with similar effects. When this ally lands a critical hit, both of your action bars will increase by 15%, and your next action will deal 25% more damage and healing, stacking up to 10 times. Okay, that's a buttload of jargon, but it sounds interesting. Now, you and another ally with highest critical damage, it's not highest attack, it's crit damage, will have the critical damage increased by 100%. So I think it means like 100% extra, so if it's like already 130%, it'll be 230%, right? I think that's how it should work. Plus, when this ally lands a critical hit, both of your action bars will increase by 15%, and your next action will deal 25% more damage. That's interesting. That's interesting. At 6 stars, she also gets plus 15% more crit rate, so I think she's gonna be like a kind of like a sub DPS supporter. Like, she can boost damage of, you know, the main DPS, and she herself can do a decent chunk of DPS. Because look at this, man. Your next action will deal 25% more damage and healing, stacking up to 10 times. This is crazy. this is insane, bro. This is so good. Like pairing her with like a super speed, you know, main DPS. Like she can fill these tags so easily, especially in like PvE stuff. Damn. I'm actually excited to pull her now. Let's take a look at her second skill. Attacks the enemy. Apply Oblivion and defense down for 2 turns. Okay, this is the first Water Nat 5 that I've seen which can apply this Oblivion, right? So for those of you who don't know what Oblivion does, it basically, you know, negates the passive ability from activating, right? It's pretty similar to what Tessarion did in Summoner's War. So I don't know if you get the reference. So if essentially, if this hero had, you know, Oblivion applied to herself, then this passive will not activate. See, it's to you know, simplify what it does. This is on the 3-turn cooldown though. I don't know if I like this skill that much. Like other heroes probably do much better stuff, but her passive is super loaded, so I don't know what I'm saying, right? Let's take a look at her first skill. Attacks an enemy and recover 18% of HP of the ally with the lowest health. Okay, so this is where her healing is coming from. All right, I see it. Again, looks interesting. What is the latest skill? All teammates get plus 42% attack during dungeon battles. All right, I can see where this is going. Yeah, I suspected that she is a PvE hero, and yeah, and she's a solid PvE hero only. I think you could probably use her in PvP, but again, you know, you won't get the chance to stack up this passive. They'll probably just gun you down instantly. So yeah, I see her utility, you know, being super high in PvE stuff, but not so much as in PvP. But then again, I like her kit. I think that should probably, yeah, that should probably wrap out all the Water Nat 5s. Do let me know what are your own favorite from the picks. Me personally, I would probably be, you know, this guy is probably the top pick for me from this section, the Electromancer. The Water Man at Arms is a close second, and probably the Sorcerer and the Music Queen are like tied for like the 3rd place, right? In my opinion. And then Molong is also pretty good. The Wandering Monk. I'm so used to calling him Molong now, and I'll probably do so in the future videos. Anyways, do let me know your own thoughts on this. I'll be making a specific, a similar kind of, you know, video for all the elements, Nat 5s. So do let me know if you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.